Hey everyone, hope all are doing well and enjoying this awesome virtual gala today. I'm Luke Liss, pro bono partner at Wilson Sonsini, and with me today is Dylan Savage, a partner in our complex litigation group. It's our honor and privilege to work with our great partners at CJA so frequently, and really just to receive this Partner in Justice Award is such an honor and privilege. We're very thankful for that. It's primarily for our work on the Cabrera v. Jiménez Naranjo, aka Macaco case, on behalf of the family of Eduardo Estrada. Dylan, do you want to just give us a little bit more background on that?
Yeah, and thank you so much, Luke. And I echo Luke's sentiments about the great privilege to work with our amazing partners at CJA. So this case arises out of the extrajudicial murder of Eduardo Estrada, an anti-coca activist and leader of the social justice organization, the Program for Peace and Development, or the PDP, in the Middle Magdalena region. On the night of July 16th, 2001, Eduardo and his partner were walking down a street in San Pablo, Colombia, when a paramilitary soldier approached the pair and shot Eduardo execution style in the head. The shooting occurred near a local police station, and a government soldier even passed by Eduardo while he was lying bleeding on the ground, but neither the police nor the soldier provided any assistance. Only once Eduardo's family arrived on the scene and flagged down a passing car was Eduardo able to make it to the hospital, and unfortunately he died that night. Including because of his work with the PDP, Eduardo was viewed as a social justice leader and an active member of his local community. Over 1,000 people attended his funeral, and that same work, however, made him a target of the right-wing paramilitary group known as the Bloc Central Bolivar, or the BCB, which had overtaken Eduardo's town of San Pablo since 1999. The BCB was founded and commanded by Carlos Mario Jiménez Naranjo, also known as Macaco, the defendant in this lawsuit. The person who murdered Eduardo was a member of the BCB, and members of the BCB later confessed that they had been ordered to kill Eduardo because he was seen as a threat to them. Although he ultimately admitted responsibility for hundreds of other violent crimes, Macaco was not held responsible for Eduardo's murder. He was, however, later extradited to the United States and convicted of drug trafficking. It was at that time that CJA and Wilson Sonsini filed suit under the TVPA in the Southern District of Florida.
Yeah, and Dylan and I got involved in this case in around 2016 after it had already been going for years. These TVPA cases can take a lot of time, and particularly so in this instance. I believe Daniel McLaughlin, our great partner at CJA, joined the case around that time as well, and we started ramping up on discovery. So we served discovery requests and we started making trips down to Colombia, which was a new and very impactful experience for us. So over the following several years, we made 3 or 4 trips to Colombia with our partners at CJA to collect evidence and take depositions.
Yeah, as Luke mentioned, we were part of a group that took multiple trips to Colombia in connection with discovery on this case. We traveled to Bogota on a fact-finding mission where we met with potential experts and developed the factual predicate for our case further. We later traveled to Medellin to depose former BCB paramilitaries, having arranged and noticed and negotiated with defendants' counsel in advance to do so, only for the witnesses to refuse to sit for their depositions once we had arrived. So we returned again to Medellin and were incredibly able to complete our depositions of those former BCB members. Luke deposed Julian Bolivar, a former high-ranking military commander in the BCB, to whom Macaco had directly delegated responsibility for Southern Bolivar, where Eduardo lived. And I deposed Oscar Montealegre, another former BCB member. Both witnesses provided critical testimony about the BCB's operations and were key in our motion for summary judgment, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Deposing these witnesses was frankly one of the most unique experiences of my entire career. Sitting in a room in Colombia in an adversarial position with someone who's a former BCB member commander was incredibly intimidating beyond the bounds of a normal deposition. And it was an experience that I will never forget. Our clients also made their first ever visit to the United States to meet with us in connection with the case, which was an honor. We were able to spend time with them in the US and Palo Alto discussing Eduardo and preparing them for potential deposition and cross-examination by defendants' counsel. And we were so incredibly grateful to them for making the trip, which was not an easy one. And we're impressed by their courage and bravery, and we're very thankful to them to trusting us and CJA with their case.
So all pretty much standard big law stuff, right? Actually couldn't be more the opposite. And I think that's just what is amazing about our partnership and these opportunities with CJA. Dylan's modest, but I'll never forget, her we took these depositions in a hotel room, face to face with some pretty notorious former paramilitary members and getting the key testimony, taking those trips, navigating Bogota, navigating Medellin. And then also our partners at CJA taking depositions and coordinating these witnesses as well. As Dylan mentioned, it was often a challenge just to get them to show up. But through our perseverance and our pretty seamless teamwork, we made it work. And ultimately we prevailed, as Dylan will talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, so ultimately Macaco was released and extradited and stopped defending the case. But based on the substantial evidence that we had amassed during discovery, including and especially on these trips to Colombia, we filed a motion for summary judgment and a motion for default judgment. The court granted our motion, finding that we had satisfied the standard for summary judgment. In what was a landmark decision, the court held in particular that there is an abundance of evidence in the record that the BCB operated in a symbiotic relationship with Colombian state actors. The court then went on to find that BCB paramilitaries had extrajudicially killed Eduardo Estrada and tortured his common law wife. It was really an amazing result for the clients, and Macaco was held accountable for these human rights atrocities, a first in a US courtroom.
Absolutely. We were thankful, not surprised, but very thankful for the court's thoughtful decision. Very thankful for Eduardo's family and the courage that they've displayed and the perseverance. This was essentially a 20-year odyssey for them. And then, of course, we're thankful for our ongoing partnership with CJA, which we continue to cherish. Their attorneys and their leadership is just so amazing, and we're very thankful for that. Their friendship as well. And just really looking forward to the future of our pro bono efforts together, and just want to thank everyone again for this wonderful recognition.
Yeah, I want to echo all those sentiments as well. I think Luke and I have had such a wonderful relationship with CJA, and have both grown so much as people and as lawyers through our collaborations. In particular with Daniel, Clarette, and Carmen, and the other folks that we've worked with on this ongoing basis over a number of years. I think it's contributed so much to us personally and as a firm to be able to have this partnership with you. So thank you all so much again, and we are really looking forward to our upcoming collaborations and other cases that we already have in the works.
Absolutely, and I just want to end with shouting out to our firm, Wilson Sonsini, and the amazing support they put into this case and so many other cases. And it bears noting for all of you young lawyers out there that think you shouldn't do pro bono. Dylan and I were both associates when we started this work, and now we're both partners. Our firm really values, supports pro bono, and if you're not at our firm, your firm should be doing so as well. So just want to leave you with that. Have a wonderful rest of your celebration, and thank you again, CJA.